Kim, what is our second main topic today?
Okay, this comes from Kyle Arking. He says, "Hi, John, Kim, Ray, and Rob. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so I watched the HBO Max Return to Hogwarts special. I was filled with so much emotion watching it. Harry Potter was a massive part of my childhood, and I loved hearing all the actors talk about their memories. It made me want to rewatch the movies. What did you guys think? Thanks, and have a great day."
Obviously, HBO did the Friends reunion special, which I wasn't the biggest friend. I mean, I appreciate Friends, but I wasn't the biggest fan. But that special was great. Like, I watched and I thought, wow, this made me actually want to go back and watch Friends again. And so it was kind of a no-brainer that they would do something like that for Harry Potter, especially hovering around the 20th anniversary of the release of the original film. And I am not the world's biggest Potterhead. I like the Potter movies, but I am not the world's biggest Potterhead. I thought it was fantastic. And for some of you guys who are subscribers to my channel, I put up a video of this because Anne is my wife, Ray's sister, Anne. She is a massive Harry Potter fan. And so we were like, okay, midnight passed on New Year's Eve. The Harry Potter special was up. I said, "You want to watch it?" He goes, "Yeah." We start playing it. The opening credits are playing. Just the opening credits. And I look over, this is up on my YouTube channel. I look over it and Anne is bawling her eyes out at the opening credits. So, of course, being the sensitive, nurturing husband I am, the first thing I do is not go over and comfort her. I pick up my phone and start recording her. and I start recording it.
That's that love.
That's the real love right there. And I'm like, "Are you crying?" And all you just see is Anne's face totally covered with her hands going, "I'm crying." And then, like, she's bawling her eyes out watching just the opening thing. And that speaks to how special Harry Potter is to a lot of people. And I think it took, like, I know Potterdom is a big thing, but I think it took something like this to remind me, this isn't just a big thing. This is a generational kind of thing, this Harry Potter thing, right? Because you had people growing up and now sharing it with their children. It's like Star Wars a lot in that way, right?
I would say that's exactly what it's like.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is a new generation Star Wars.
When I was a kid and how Star Wars changed my life, I remember meeting people that were like in college and like, "Yeah, it's all right." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" But it is totally generational. And Harry Potter, to me, I think I was a little too old. I read the first book when it first came out, but I read it as the Philosopher's Stone because I had a British version of it.
Right.
And I really liked it. It was good, but I'm like, I get it. It was a pastiche of a bunch of different things. But man, like you said, John, Harry Potter is borderline is religion for some people.
Yeah.
I mean, it got kids back into reading. It was the first time I ever saw people line up at bookstores to buy books.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole generation of people who are readers now because of Harry Potter.
And those were like little pamphlets.
Oh,
those
yeah.
were
Compared to,
books.
and they got bigger as they went. And it just pointed that out. Like Ann and I, we go to Universal Studios a lot because it's not far from where we live. And there is always thousands of people. Ann and I were sitting down eating actually at Universal City Walk. And as we're sitting there eating, this family of 6, 4 kids, 2 parents walk by, all in their Hogwarts robes. Saw thousands of people always just walk around in their Hogwarts robes. And this thought came to my mind. Tell me what you think. All I could think about watching this and just reading and checking out people's reactions around the world as this was going on was, this would kick Spider-Man No Way Home's ass at the box office. Like that's all I could think about watching this. Is like, let's bring these freaking, look at these adorable little faces. They're children. But you put these, all I could think about was if you got another movie together and you have forget the cursed child, just write a new movie and you have these 3 coming together again. How much money will it make, Ray? All the money. It'll make all the money. Not a lot of money, not a bunch of money. This damn thing would make all the money. Like, I got to think, they've got to think about coming back to this. Anyway, Ray, you actually watched this thing last night, right?
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
So much history there. Like, it's a big part of my life. But I just want to say one thing. HBO, guaranteed, anything that has to do with a documentary, behind the scenes, real life, whatever, they are the top of the totem pole.
Oh yeah,
right
they
there.
really are. Yeah.
Sports documentaries, murder documentaries. now getting into
Sports
these.
and murder.
Now getting into these behind the scenes of like beloved franchises, they're doing it right too. I mean, they can't go no wrong with these. So I enjoyed it. I shed a tear or two. It was really good to me the way they did it. Like they even had some production value in the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah, they really did.
All of them getting the greeting cards, which was such a good way to like get me hooked on it. I thought it was just a straight up interview, like, oh, they're just gonna ask these people questions, but no, they went beyond that.
Yeah.
They visited the parts of the set for the first time.
Yeah, they rebuilt a lot
And
of the
like
sets,
you saw
yeah.
their true emotion, which I loved. It wasn't like set up. Oh, I would never know, but it seemed to me that when they say, "Oh, this is the first time I stepped in this," whatever,
in like 15
it really
years,
was
yeah.
because you could see the emotion in their face, which I appreciated a lot. So I loved it. I hope they make more for other things too.
Yeah.
but this one's a great thing.
I think my favorite person in it might have been Helena Bonham Carter. And because I remember she was sitting down with Tom Felton, and the first thing she said to Tom Felton was, who's of course Draco Malfoy, and her first thing she says to him, "Did you get much stuff? Because I stole quite a lot." That was the very first thing out of her mouth. She said, "I stole quite a lot," like, which was just great. Kim, you are notorious for always having a dry eye. So I just out of curiosity, you saw the Potter thing. What did you think of it?
Didn't cry at all. I didn't shed any tears. Definitely shed some tears. And I'm not like Anne level Potterhead. Like I like the movies a whole lot, but I cried so much. And something I thought that was really cool, like you were saying, as Tom Felton said, the funny thing is that most of the people that come up to him weren't even born when the movies came out. And he said, one, that makes me feel old. And two, that makes it feel really special. And I thought that's really incredible. And HBO, I feel like every streaming kind of has their thing, you know, and HBO, they're giving me all the feels, the Fresh Prince reunion, the Friends reunion. I want to see more from them because it's like you brought in a really great point. The production value was there. It was very creative the way they did it on the set. I love how Helena Bonham Carter, she went behind the bank and the little trolls were just like sitting there collecting dust. She's like, oh my God, have they fed them? I thought it was beautiful. And the way they honored those who were part of the cast who have passed with the candles, that totally got to me. That was so beautiful.
Wait a second.
That was really beautiful.
That was shot for that special? That wasn't a part of the movie,
candle
thing?
No, they took that scene and they kind of re-edited it
to
honor the people who passed.
Yeah, and by the way, their whole in memoriam thing was very touching and beautiful.
Cool.
Especially, I love seeing that scene where, I mean, two of the greatest actors ever standing there when they replayed the scenes of, you had Voldemort being played by, I believe, the greatest actor in the world who doesn't have an Oscar right now, Ralph Fiennes, and Alan Rickman in their scene together. And you're watching that. And like, again, I'm not even the world's biggest Potter fan. And I'm getting like goosebumps watching that. I'm like, and then Daniel Radcliffe puts it best. He goes, you know, when I'm older, I'm going to be able to point back and say, look at all the legends that I worked with. Because you're talking about, just go through everything, right? All the people, like even just this image right here. Like you're working with Academy caliber Helena Bonham Carter and Gary Oldman, and you're talking about working with Richard, and you're talking about working with Alan, and you're talking about working with Ray Fiennes, and you're talking about working with Kenneth Branagh, and you're talking about working with, like, this was a who's
Dumbledore won. Richard Harris, the first one. And Rob, to your point about the generational thing, you know, talking about when we're at Universal, we see all the 90% of the people wearing the Potter robes are kids who were not born. Forget when the first movie came out, weren't even born when the last movie came out. This is something that is being passed down generationally. And my God, if they, I stick by this thing, if they did another one.
And I appreciate them talking about, I like that they didn't go into drama, you know, I appreciate that they didn't just touch on drama, but I like that Emma Watson really told the truth about how lonely it was to be a kid, and everyone wants to be famous. It's very isolating. And to be so like identified with her character and so lonely. And I appreciated that they touched on some of the truth of being a part of a huge franchise and growing up in front of everybody.
By the way, my favorite line was Helena Bonham Carter's line. My second favorite line was Rupert when he said, Yeah, it's been that many years since we did the last movie. I've had kidney stones in children since then. And I thought that was like one of the best things.
Can I bring up something?
Yeah.
Can I ask everyone here what their favorite Harry Potter movie is?
Deathly Hallows Part 2, actually. The last one was my
Rob?
favorite.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
I think that's
Kim?
with a lot of people.
What was the one with the chalice?
The Goblet of Fire.
Thank
Goblet
you.
of Fire.
Thank you.
And I bring that up
I'm not a
because
Potterhead.
I bring that up because my favorite, and a lot of people argue with me, is just the first one because of when they first pick their wands and they see that world. It's almost the same feeling I get in the Jurassic Park when you first see the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like that I get the feeling of like, like if you were there picking out your wand, that's like the coolest thing ever. So I don't know.
I would rather have picked out my dinosaur, to be honest. No, but I think another thing about this, John, is from a monetary standpoint, this is a pretty interesting gauge of how much interest there is. So if they get big numbers on this show, on this reunion special, it's a pretty good bet they're going to use those analytics to be like, and how much do you think these actors got paid to come back? This was not a cheap special.
No.
There was a lot of money spent on this, which means our characters were paid a lot of money to come do this show.
And the funny thing is they probably didn't have to spend a lot overall because they probably had Daniel Radcliffe in for 3 days.
Sure.
And whatever. So they probably paid them a lot for those 3 days. But to your point, you're absolutely right. There's no way that they're not at least half when they're putting this together. Let's see how this does.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you what, if it stirs like a muggle like me, how Potter fans see, I know the lingo. If that special can emotionally stir a muggle like me, I can only imagine how it stirred the passions of a lot of people. I think there are probably discussions going on right now about how the hell do we pull this all together again?
Well, most importantly, you want Rupert Grint, you want Emma, and you want
you gotta have
Daniel
the three of-
Radcliffe.
yeah.
You want them to be sitting around, the three of them going, wouldn't it be cool if we did another movie? You want them to be in.
Yeah.
Because if they're in,
Then it happens.
Yeah.
Then it happens. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think? You don't even have to be a big Potter fan, but what did you think about this Potter special? I thought it was an absolute triumph. I thought it was fantastic. Whatever you guys are thinking about it right now, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.